Path of Exile 2's Act 3 culminates in an epic showdown with Doryani, who certainly won't go down without a fight. This battle is the most challenging yet, and defeating Doryani will grant you access to the cruel difficulty in PoE 2. Expect a barrage of massive area of effect blasts, numerous lasers, and a mix of elemental attacks, making this encounter quite tough. Staying agile, keeping an eye on attack patterns, and dodging those AoE blasts will be key to coming out unscathed. But first, you'll need to navigate through the entire final dungeon of Act 3. Unlike the previous boss, Viper Napwatsi, you'll have a spacious arena to maneuver in, along with two distinct phases to tackle. If you find yourself having a hard time with Doryani, Royal Thaumaturge, or Doryani's Triumph in Path of Exile 2, we're here to help you conquer them. At the conclusion of the Black Chambers, Doryani is waiting for you in Path of Exile 2. The various lasers and charged attacks can be quite frustrating, especially since they often target you directly. Fortunately, these blasts have a wind-up period, so if you stay close to Doryani, you can roll around and dodge them more easily. Alternatively, if you have good movement speed, just keep moving to avoid getting hit. Doryani has a wide range of laser attacks in Path of Exile 2. There's a short-range red beam that ends with a burst, which is quite easy to avoid. He can also unleash a beam of crackling lightning or activate a flamethrower, both of which will follow you. Lastly, there's a large red cone of lasers that you'll need to steer clear of. Additionally, he can drop a series of small red bombs that explode after a short delay. You can run past them and escape in time to keep the battlefield clear. However, be wary of one particularly devastating attack in Phase 1, a series of red beams that flash on the screen before activating. These lasers will rotate slowly and activate multiple times in succession. It's crucial to steer clear of them. Melee players can stay close to Doryani in Path of Exile 2 and still deal damage, as long as they keep moving with the rotation. These lasers hit hard, so avoid standing in their path. This is where minion builds excel. You can remain agile, cast a curse, and let your minions do the heavy lifting. Occasionally, you'll encounter a lightning pylon that activates when you approach it. Similar to the bombs, you can quickly maneuver around these to trigger them, but be sure to escape the expanding radius. At 50% health, Doryani transforms into Doryani's Triumph in Path of Exile 2 and fully heals. This marks the true beginning of the battle. The laser attacks become more intense, and Doryani gains massive fists to slam the ground. Staying to its sides is key. It has a powerful laser beam array that it can unleash from behind. I learned this the hard way during my first encounter. Keep an eye on the charging front legs of Doryani in Path of Exile 2. If you can maintain your distance, you'll avoid taking damage. This is where the formidable ice and fire beams come into play. They will pursue you and deal significant damage. To make matters worse, the boss also heals completely when Phase 2 kicks in. It will detach a segment to fire random lasers and separate its back to unleash AoE damage. After a short delay, it will erupt, creating massive AoE zones. It can also briefly explode, generating a smaller lightning AoE compared to the fire one. Additionally, you'll have to deal with small fire AoEs and a powerful laser that locks onto you, firing a red beam that chases you after a brief pause. Doryani's Triumph in Path of Exile 2 has one last devastating AoE attack. Watch for it to transform and hover in the air. It'll pursue you and indicate an area you need to avoid. I nearly got one-shotted by it, even when I was just on the edge of its range. In my experience, just as Doryani was about to reach its last sliver of health, it began charging up for an electric attack. Fortunately, it was defeated before it could unleash it, all thanks to the strength of my minion build. To avoid the lightning damage and shield it can deploy, make sure to deal as much damage as possible. Winning this battle will unlock cruel difficulty and provide some story context for your return to Act 1 content. Collect your rewards, and when you're prepared, travel back in time in Path of Exile 2. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more updates.